where we're gonna have a mirror match, aren't we?
That's right, everybody's favorite, Kawano versus NL. It's the Luke Mirror, baby. You already know what's gonna go down. Either one of these guys is gonna go down to Memphis, but only one will be moving on in the rest of the loser's side. Again, although the top 8 is still intact, this is do or die time.
So, with this mirror match, and these two players in particular, I personally think with how they qualified to come to the CPT finals, they are some of the most deadliest Luke players in this mirror match here. Kawano qualifying being CPT Japan, NL with East Asia, the way they utilize the Sandblasters, the normals. Pay attention to their round start tactics each and every round. Yes, you were looking at a replica here, but these guys are going to be scared just as much as the next person. NL had a tough time getting here, beating Knuckle2, overwhelming him, as well as decimating Zan. Kawano had a scare against Kusanagi, but they got to watch out. Patient at the start here.
We'll see if NL will take a page out of Kusanagi's book and kind of rev up the engines first, but it's going to be Kawano who actually starts off with the offense. You had mentioned it earlier. But what's the defensive decision going to be like? Oh my!
And it's the thing, when I watch NL play, he's not afraid to use stand hard punch, but they do whiff a fair bit.
And he's also not afraid to wake up with the OD rising upper.
Yeah, but then he'll chase down afterwards. Pay attention to certain things that NL does, especially off the OD uppercut too. He will try and get the frame advantage afterwards. OD uppercut, will he chase down again? Yeah, dashes and tries to bait something there. Kawano did wake up with the button.
It's going to be information for NL going forward, right? The next time he lands that OD uppercut with the suppressor, just suppresses the crouching medium punch as a counter hit. You've seen that time and time again. The tactics are just 2 steps ahead from the side of Kawano.
And Kawano was having a big chat. That must have been accidental. That could have been a hard read there. Might give him the benefit of the doubt. Looked like he was looking for that drive rush. Oh, he punished there.
Great stop sign.
That almost was blocked, by the way. I think that was a delayed medium punch that got caught by the drive reversal from NL.
Damn!
He beat into the punch there with the crouching medium punch. Low on drive gauge here, so he will have to spend that level 3, and he's going to actually change the direction of how the drive gauges will work right now.
He's got to be chilling at this point, right? He doesn't want to overextend with the drive rush. He's going to walk up carefully and see what NL's decision was. NL's smart enough to just kind of back away, doesn't want to risk that OD or the burnout for that matter, but he's still sitting on a critical art. Can he make Kawano flinch? Man, he still went out with a bang. He went for the low forward.
He did indeed. He had enough resources to do that drive rush counter there and force the situation. And like I said, Kawano is one of the best in this mirror match, man, already. And you can tell. NL can be super impatient and super aggressive at times. But against someone like Kawano, who might be one of the favorites, a dark horse from a lot of people's eyes, but I imagine Punk might think he might win the tournament. Huge fan of Kawano. Shouts to Punk. Gets the uppercut, jumps out.
Coverages that on that as well with the crouching heavy punch. A lot of the Luke players have been opting for that. And the big jump in read against the Sandblast. Is he going to spend? No, he's got to go for the Oki, right? Even if level 1 was out, he still wouldn't have done enough damage to kill. And it's just enough to get to the corner.
The wall spat there, does NL, and then try to go for a safe jump, but Kawano knew the mind game there, that's why he went. Yeah. And there you have it, NL taking that round. Still looking good. Again, they're being super patient at round start at the moment. Highly respectable, the damage output this character has is absolutely ferocious. Just walking slowly, trudging across the screen. Gets
My God, you know he was kind of hovering around the medium kick range for a while. That was the main objective for him, to catch NL walking back and skipping away, but
yes,
no.
That's what he was doing.
No
and the
OD.
side swap with the suppressor. He's been doing that against Ken, does that against Luke.
Smart.
Earns himself a burnout here, and he's going to make sure.
Oh my God!
Huge. He can actually spend a super if he wants to, get the Oki after for the damage, but he's going to throw and then try and guarantee a chip scenario. No, he baits a level 3 instead, and he chases it down with a Sandblaster into the fatal shot, because again, he's very limited in how he can chase that down, but because that the OD projectile goes full screen, he just completely finds to close it out. Good observation there from NL.
I'm just glad it wasn't a mistaken uppercut. Imagine that, right? Spine buster going forward. Again, the medium kick bringing out against the Sandblaster. You saw the startup from Kawano, but this is so good right now for Kawano. That back throw can lead to so much. The defensive choices. You saw the backdash, now in the burnout. Checking him with the rising upper. There's no escape.
He's got to deal with this, and he's threatening the stun here, Kawano from NL, and he's going to get the stun nice and early here, so he's going to set up something, and he dropped a huge conversion here. So now it's his turn to roll the die on defense. Oh, the jab caught him, and he got
beautiful.
Back for again. Damn, these guys are fighting tooth and nail to keep that corner. Checked.
You got to go for the damage, right? Are you going to go for the damage or the side switch? Indeed, he's going to go for the advantage as well after the whiffed tackle. NL's got 2 bars to his name. Hold on, he's got one shot of a drive rush, two. Speaking of which, that's gotta be more than enough. He built up just a little more to continue on with the combo. Good awareness from NL.
Another thing I've observed as well is how these guys have to make a comeback. They do get a little bit antsy, a little bit flustered.
That was sick.
Dude, the way this guy's actually closing the gap, changing up his decisions. Drive rush jab almost got it. There you go, OD, Avenger, and he's gonna burn him out here with the Super R2. Back to the screen, he's just gonna walk him down. Oh, wow. What a choice. He found some way to get in and gets that Pale Rider.
And guess what? It was via Fierce.
Well,
that heavy punch still paying dividends. Speaking of dividends, that risk was amazing for Kawano for having to pay out against NL.
Okay, immediately drive rush cancels there, delayed the crouch medium, and he has to keep him here in that burnout state. He's actually got a lot of real estate to work with if things don't work out. That's there, and he does that immediately with the Vulcan Blast, and it takes the round there for Kawano. He just done that anyway, because if he said punish gun, it would have saved his bar, but he was just mashing or reacting with that Super Art 1, which worked out fortuitously for him.
I would say the former rather than the latter. I don't know, man. It's hard to call, but the gun, I gotta say, man, the gun has been pointed towards NL in the corner so often by Kawano. It's so hard to get out of that pressure situation, but it was a good read on the backdash for the throw. Didn't lead to anything else.
He gets caught out, similar to what Safe did against Phenom with the Ken mirror, but he's caught him with the Luke mirror now as well. Meaty, roundhouse there, delayed throw tech, trying to avoid getting put in a detrimental scenario. They're both low on dry gauge. These guys are literally fighting neck and neck, and it's tantamount on dry gauge until NL recovered a little bit faster here, while Kawano is actually trying to avoid the amber. Swinging it out.
Goes in the green.
They're waiting for one medium to whiff. Oh, and it was a heavy instead. Something had to whiff. Perfect spacing there for Kawano. Delayed jab on wake up there from NL.
And the stutter step, you saw it, a micro step forward into the crouch medium sequence.
Dash up. And he's going to build enough.
No way. The perfect damage calculation. I'm not trying to meme it up. I'm not trying to say the track's on the game, but that was actually the perfect amount of bar built up for the level 3 from NL.
This is what you kind of need in those situations. That's why it's clutch, right? Especially the CQC, and they got like probably 4 drive stocks to work with, for 2 drive rush cancels to build up an abundance of super meter to get the close out here. And that whiff, my God. Do you know what? Both of these guys have been whiffing the hell out of stand hard punch.
They really have. Oh, and it's so difficult, right? NL has been stuttering a lot of his normals and layering them as well against Kawano. That stagger pressure has really led to a little bit of urgency from Kawano, hence NL now shifting up the gears in the timing of his meetings.
And he baited him with the first crouch medium punch to get him to try and react, and he caught the second one with the drive rush cancel there. And here comes the back throw. Kawano going to chase him down, try to catch him out with the suppressor, because he hasn't done that in a little while. Down. Perfect parry, and a throw, mixed it up so he gets the maximum damage there. No parry scaling. OD uppercut, yes! There you go.
Genius jammers.
He had to, man. He had to bust out that situation to play in the neutral again. And he baited it.
The bait. Gash on in there. Do it again. Nice and easy for Kawano.
Just like Angry Bird said, that's the situation now I've been exposed to. Using Stand Light Punch to bait him into something that could have been the start of an animation of a Sand Blaster that got him there.
Could have been.
Because level 1 is crucial in this matchup, by the way, as an anti-projectile tool. One of the strongest anti-projectile tools in the game.
And that was at the toes! Going for the tackle. Got a carry. Punish counter. You saw the throw bait. You saw the throw whip, excuse me.
Most of their damage has been coming from mediums, from slight blips in their pressure, and they still catch each other.
OD rings out, live by the uppercut.
Perfect parry, somebody got it, and then Suppress, he's going to burn him out. He has to, surely. If the combo's too long. Going to do something else instead.
No, it was too sharp of an angle. His character model wasn't even turned around for that crouching heavy punch. And the level 3, so significant in the damage, but more so, the burnout.
I think NL should have tried to burn out Kawano earlier, so now he's going to suffer for it. But he's still got a level 2, about to build a level 3, so he just needs one button into the level 3. Maybe even pump a level 1, but he's been baited into doing that before.
Oh my God, even the stagger pressure so significant. The cancel into level 1 against the drive impact. NL, you dog.
And that's exactly what you have to do in Burnout. You just have to focus on the drive impact. You have to let go of everything else because your brain is multitasking, and he focused on the drive impact and was ready pumping that Super Art 1. Oh, almost got the suppressor, by the way. I saw that. So there again with the Sand Blaster in that mid-range there, but the normals have been doing so much more work than those projectiles. Backdash there. NL cannot whip a button. I'm seeing it. Yeah, he was malicious with trying to burn him out there. Now he's literally dehydrated. Shout out to the Yipes.
What are you going to do about it, Kawano? Slowly pushing NL to the corner. 5 foot, by the way. The Sand Blasters are not going to be enough when you're in medium range. I like that. Checking the neutral jump, forward throw. This is significant. NL is close to getting his
He's still at supers. He's going to firm it until he gets his bar
do it
back.
again,
no,
right?
That's fine. Yes, okay, that was smart. He can take throws because you actually recover drive game while taking throws. That's why he did that. Bustle block. No perfect parry on the knuckle. Kawano's turn now. Try to bait a wake-up reversal or something.
Oh, that's huge, Jammers! He can cancel again! That's more than enough of the tank! NL takes out Kawano out of the running!
There you have it. Like I said, one of the strongest loot players in the world and one of the fastest in that mirror match. He showed us why. Very persistent. He's been overwhelming a lot of people today, even in his group stage, and NL emerged victorious. And he actually places better than what he did last year, because last year, I believe he was joint 7th. So now he'll get minimum 5th place here, so a big improvement, despite it being a different game here for one of Korea's finest.
It was definitely a heartfelt moment for Kawano. One of the fastest learners. He's grown so much from his career start in Street Fighter V. I gotta say, give it up one more time for one of Japan's finest, Kawano, for doing what couldn't be done before. One of the youngest to make it, I feel like.
Well deserved there for NL. Commiserations to Kawano, but again, this was a battle up close. Now, he did hit him with a huge suppressor. The way these guys were landing damage, it's a mirror match. It's going to be very similar. When your opponent does it to you, you automatically think, I've got to do it back to you in the same fashion, just to let you know I'm on the same wavelength, I'm at the same level as you. We saw a lot of risky plays from these guys, but it's Luke. I play risky on defense as well, especially to get out of such a dangerous situation in the corner. Sometimes these guys were so good at whiffing each other, they started to turn it into, right, I'm going to throw out this button to make you try and whiff punish it, and I'll clip the second button, which is brilliant there to see. They mixed it up here and there, trying to surprise each other, because you can't be too fundamental in this matchup. You've got to show a little bit of disrespect.
You can kind of see that as well when you see further on in the matches in the replay. NL had actually opted to go for a little bit of a different stagger approach. Now, although he's throwing out crouching medium punch sometimes, it is going to be safe, so you're thinking they're going to take their turn with the light, but no, he just delays his crouching medium punch even further. And even so, there were moments where he caught Kawano backwalking when he shouldn't, so he would also check that situation. Once that situation was already established, Kawano, I felt like he froze up a little bit, but again, the whiff punish game still so strong from NL. I think he got the ground covered up close, but man, his adaptation in neutral from further ranges, it was immaculate.
But like I said as well, that was a brilliant reaction there on the backdash to match level 1. I said when these guys are at a deficit, pay attention to how they try and force a comeback. They have to fight tooth and nail. They have to risk life and limb just to get back in and force a situation, which Luke is magnificent at doing there. But it's really difficult, especially when your guy has an abundance of health to work with. And a decent amount of drive damage, because they can turn it around and risk the burnout here. And sometimes you watch this mirror match, and it's like, hang on a minute. One guy's actually outplaying the other guy, but he's still lost. Kawano at times looks like he's winning a several amount of exchanges there, but still lost. And we had the pleasure of watching this time in and time out with Bonchan and Mena RD yesterday. So we soaked in enough Luke mirror match experience just last night.
We really have, yeah. And you see in the final moments as well, we talked about layering those buttons. We might have thought, perhaps NL was going to come in with something sneakier, right? Something a little bit later on the startup after the crouching medium punch, but he immediately caught Kawano off guard into a true frame trap, crouching strong into crouching jab, and caught him with that level 3 towards the end.